Targeted in Gauteng province of South Africa after the imprisonment of former President Jacob Zuma. Violence broke out in several parts of South Africa, including in Johannesburg, and post this imprisonment. And Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, that's the External Affairs Minister, spoke with his counterpart, South African counterpart Naledi Pandor, who has assured that the South African government is committed to restoring the law and order in the areas that are seeing disturbance currently, and specifically Indians being targeted at the moment. Preme Govindar, activist from Durban, South Africa, is now joining us on the line. Preme, first of all, why are Indians being targeted?
We see that most of the businesses here are Indian owned or Indian run. It's like various types of businesses, the clothing industries, the retail industries, the franchises, the local supermarkets, the road, the constructions, the sugarcane fields, everything is Indian owned, and that is in itself saying that the Indians have been targeted and we need help. There's no help at all from the police departments, from the government itself, and we have been hard hit.
All right. So now that the External Affairs Minister has spoken with his counterpart, let me go across to Aditya Rajkol for more details on that. Aditya, what is the assurance that the South African government has given to India, considering, as Prem is pointing out, the targets are largely Indians, considering that they are doing well in businesses and their business is being looted currently?
That's right, Maha. Some of the topmost business houses in South Africa are owned by Indians, and that's why the priority for the South African government needs to be protecting those citizens of the Indian origin who have done whatever is possible for uplifting the economy of South Africa. So at this moment, you rightly pointed out, the Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has spoken to his counterpart, Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor, and she has assured that the government was doing utmost to enforce law and order, and an early restoration of normalcy and peace was the overriding priority. Now, already in Durban, in Johannesburg, in KZN, and in Gauteng, there has been tremendous amount of violence and some resilience really being shown in these, dark hours by the Indian community there, because they have been using private security, because the incumbent president is being asked, Cyril Ramaphosa, that not much is being done for protecting the Indian community and otherwise the locals as well. Because supporters of course, Jacob Zuma and others have been clashing. There's been riot-like situation, and some of the Indian, enterprises and business houses have been targeted, including supermarkets. So the violence has continued. There have been online social media appeals to Indian government also to intervene, and that's why the Indian government has now intervened and, of course, spoken and taken up the matter with, the counterparts in South Africa. So at this moment, it is certainly a point of concern. The violence is continuing.
Absolutely.
And we know that Jacob Zuma was close to several Indian tycoons, business tycoons, including the Gupta brothers. So we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold. As of now, it's a very developing situation, and the violence, unfortunately, is only continuing.
Aditya, I'll request you to stay on with us, because we have an activist who's joining us from Durban as well. Let's bring her in now. Preme, the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has spoken with the South African government over providing security specifically to Indian businesses. Tell us something about the ground situation, because you were mentioning just a short while back that no help is coming through for the Indian community there. Any particular reason for that? And, what are the areas in South Africa that are seeing violence against Indians?
Basically, there is nothing left on the shop shelves. The businesses have been looted and burnt. And the thing is this, with the amount of looters, it is like in thousands. The police department has been inundated, and they're short-staffed, and they don't have their ammunition and things like that. So they weren't able to stop the looting.
Okay.
The problem here is it started with former President Jacob Zuma being in jail, and they said that they will bring the country to a standstill if he's not released from jail. And he's not going to be released from jail due to the circumstances. And this is going to continue. We don't even have public transport. And right now, all the jobs, all the businesses that have been providing jobs to these looters, there's no jobs to go to. There's no jobs to go to. And there was supposed to be like a state of emergency declared where the army was supposed to be in and protect us. But right now, the community have taken up their own arms. They've become vigilantes, protecting their properties because the looters have now spilled out into the street. They have come in. My own home itself was attacked the night before with a van load of looters, and they had like petrol tanks and everything to bomb and get into our gates. And if it was not for
right, Prema, in this difficult hour, all we can do is show solidarity with the Indians there in South Africa. We do sincerely hope that after the call that has been made by the External Affairs Minister, things will improve for the Indian community in South Africa, as Prema is pointing out. An eyewitness there as well, that looting continues against Indians. The looters, in fact, are demanding the release of Jacob Zuma, who is in prison, and that is unlikely to happen. Prema, many thanks for joining us. Many thanks to Aditya also for getting us details on the Prime Minister's conversation with his South African counterpart. Let's move